This is Mythologies and Apocrypha, issue number 1 by Tim Lane, published by Fantagraphics. I became familiar with Tim Lane's work on the issue number 12 of Now, the anthology published by Fantagraphics. And it was a story, young Steve McQueen, I thought by far was the best story in there. And became a big fan of his work. So this is like an issue number 1. I don't know what the frequency is going to be, but whatever it is, I'm in for it. So this was interesting because this is McQueen in America part 1. And what he does is that he has this like history, like he does these old school, like this whole story is like an old school documentary with interviews by Howard Cosell and Walter Cronkite about how Steve McQueen and Frank Sinatra met on the set of a movie. And it looks really authentic, but a lot of the stuff is made up. I kept having to stop and going back online and saying, is this true or is this not true? But it's so well done that it's believable. And there's like enough fact mixed in with the fiction. So this is like very plausible. Art here is phenomenal. And Tim Lane can really draw and design. So this talks about, you know, how big a star Frank Sinatra was. Also, part of this documentary or this issue is features Wolfman Jack when he was younger. Talk about how big he was, and they talk about the night that Elvis and Frank Sinatra met on the Frank Sinatra show and sang a duet. And it's like I said, it's so well done that a lot of it's believable that you actually, if you start going back and fact checking, you're like, well, this is true, but this part is not true. But it's fascinating in that way. I mean, this is a really well done narrative. Like I said, the art is great. And then you have this segue someone into using like, instead of just black and white, this red and this off-white. And then here you just have these ads for like Steve McQueen toys and like how to look cool. Sort of like those ads like, hey, you know, skinny guy's getting sand kicked in his face, you know, order the Steve McQueen kit and you'll be so cool that nobody will mess with you. But it's like I said, it's really well done. And then this is a another story here featuring two gentlemen in a junkyard that has nothing to do with Steve McQueen. It's a backup story. And then this story here from like an old 1930s news caption. And then this story is an old ham radio, people that you could talk to, like an old ad. But it's extremely well done and interesting. So I'm hoping it sells well. I hope there's more of this. I'm here for it. It's really cool. For $5.99, you cannot beat it. Especially when a regular comic costs $4.99 and most of it is absolute crap. This is like really well done. This is just high production values, great design, great art, just a lot of love and care went into this thing to make it good. And I can recommend it highly.